So this I is your internal desires not matching your external. And we see this in a lot of Ferrari owners who are depressed. If you've got a Ferrari, it means your external is awesome. You're making a lot of money in the external, but it's not who your soul is. And that means you have fed into your persona the most. And persona, what is persona? Persona is the part of the psyche. It's not the self, man. It's persona is the mask of who you are. It's the compromise with society. It's your politically correct mask. It's your fake opinions, persona. Now, if you can somehow focus this persona down here, look at this, all right? This is the best way to do it. How do I get more space on this fucking tablet? I'm going to have to move some of this stuff. Guys, I hope you can see all this. All right. I'm going to add a new star. So screenshot that and you're good. These symbols are just going to help you remember what I'm saying. You don't really need to screenshot it. Okay. So here's how it works. Okay. We'll break down your depression. There's yourself, which is the real you, right? With your astral soul, desires, all that. Then there's your ego, which is the part of you that you are most conscious about. And it's basically, if the ego fuses with the self, you start thinking you do things that you can't do. And you crash and burn. But what you're supposed to do is, here's your persona, your compromise to the world. That's the mask, usually right there. Sorry. Okay, and then we have collected unconsciousness, which we'll say is your deeper dream thoughts, right? And this is where your shadow and suppressed self is. Okay, so persona is what you're showing the world. This ego is what holds the sword of will to will things into action. And what you're supposed to do is, for your shadow traits, right? The traits you've suppressed, like I'm weak. Now look at this. You're weak, but let's say your persona tells people you're strong. I'm strong. The greatest thing you could do is use your ego to will being strong, maybe gym or whatever you got to do. And that way you bring, with the will, you bring this strength into the ego. And your ego gets larger and larger. And by the time you're 70 years old, you're a kung fu master who's a genius, who your point is to expand this ego. You feed it with experience, because the ego thinks it can do things without experience. No, my nigga, you got to feed it. And that's integrating your shadow traits of weakness. You go get the experience of strength and you put it into you, and then it becomes in your total self who you fucking are.